In Jamaica news today, man is sentenced to life in prison for possession of illegal firearm, while INDECOM is asking the police to use less lethal force. This is Undiluted News, Mikey Bones reporting. The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, is urging members of the security force to use less lethal force during confrontation with people who are mentally ill. INDECOM Commissioner Hugh Faulkner said that there have been instances where deadly force was not warranted, and he's encouraging the use of alternative methods of restraint. The Commission revealed that 106 fatal shootings were recorded from January to June of this year. Mr. Faulkner said 12 of the victims were mentally ill and were shot when they reportedly attacked members of the security forces. Updated figures on the Commission website indicate 119 fatal shootings incidents by the security forces up to November of this year. History in the making. People, listen to this next story. In a landmark decision, a man who pleaded guilty to possession of an illegal gun has been sentenced to life imprisonment. Atlee Eric Murray, a 26-year-old of a Marchpen Road address in Spanish Town in St. Catherine, was sentenced last week before the gun court. Murray pleaded guilty to weapons possession on October 26. The presiding judge sentenced him to life imprisonment for the possession of a prohibited weapon with the possibility of parole after 15 years. Additionally, he received a 9-year sentence for unauthorized possession of ammunition. Murray was sentenced according to the provisions of the Firearm Act of 2022, which carries a life sentence for possession of a prohibited weapon with the possibility of parole after 15 years. Murray was captured during police operation on Marchpen Road on Christmas Eve last year, and he was held with a Taurus 9mm pistol along with a magazine loaded with 13 rounds. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck said the sentence handed down to Murray under the new Firearms Act should now send a strong message to criminals. Gunmen, you have been warned. A man was shot dead by a policeman during a confrontation outside a nightclub in Falmouth in Trelawney on Saturday morning. The man, identified as 25-year-old Adjo Hall from Scarlett Hall in Trelawney, was reportedly shot after attacking the policeman, who is said to be a constable from the Stewarttown police station. Reports indicated that about 5:10 in the morning, the two men were among patrons outside the nightclub when an altercation developed between Hall and another man. The constable intervened and tried to separate both men when Hall reportedly began punching him in the face repeatedly, and it was further reported that the policeman pulled his private firearm and fired 3 shots, hitting Hall in the right side of his body. Hall, police said, was assisted to the Falmouth Hospital, where he died of injuries. Gunmen struck in the troubled community of Rosetown, Kingston on Thursday night, forcing residents to flee for their lives under a hail of bullets. The attack occurred about 9:30 p.m. at the intersection of White and Duff Street. The Kingston Western Police said a 43-year-old resident was the main target of the attack, and it's reported that the man and other family members were sitting under a shed conversing when they heard loud shots and saw 2 men coming towards them. The men opened fire on the group, forcing the man and members of his family to jump into a nearby gully in a bid to escape. And it was later discovered that the 43-year-old man, a mason, was shot in the leg. He was taken to hospital for treatment, and the hoodlums also sprayed his house with bullets. Meanwhile, 7 people were shot, 2 fatally, on 3rd Street in Rima, Trenchtown Thursday evening. The deceased has been identified as 34-year-old Romaine Maraj, otherwise called Cooley, and 26-year-old Desmore Mackenzie, otherwise called Nico, both from the Kingston Western community. A 10-year-old boy is among the wounded, and it's reported that about 7:30 p.m. a group of people were sitting along the roadway playing dominoes when a car approached. 4 men alighted and opened gunfire. 7 people were left with bullet wounds. They were taken to hospital, where Maraj and Mackenzie were pronounced dead and the others admitted. The Kingston Western Police said that the incident is a continuation of a conflict between the Fatherless and Buckers gang based in Rima in Trenchtown. On to Sports Premier League. Defending champions Mount Pleasant FA won their 2nd straight game of the Red Neville Jamaica Premier League on Sunday, blanking Dunbehold 3-0 at Draxhall in St. Anne. Mount Pleasant, who are yet to concede a goal, were joined at the top of the points table by Waterhouse FC, who beat promoted Limehall 3-1 in the first game of the doubleheader. Portmore, who were beaten by Mount Pleasant in their opening game, kept promoted Treasure Beach winless as they won 3-1 thanks to a double from Alex Marshall, who had missed their opening game. Montego Bay United, meanwhile, finally found success as they ambushed Cavaliers 1-0 with wingback Lucas Lima Correa heading home a corner in the 67th minute. And in the other game played on Sunday, Humble Lions and Moulins United played out a 1-all draw. The league continues today with a doubleheader at the Stadium East as Tivoli Gardens take on Vere at 5 p.m. before Harborview and Arnett Gardens clash at 7:30. On to schoolboy football, we are now in the quarterfinals of the Manning Cup with two groups. Group 1, which had Stats, Mona, KC, and St. Catherine, which have each team playing each other once, and the first and the second team will then move to the semifinals. Mona High 100% win record ended on Saturday after they battled to a 1-all draw with former champions Kingston College in the first match of a doubleheader at Jamaica College. Mona took the lead in the first half, but the Purples found their way back into the contest 13 minutes from time, courtesy of DeAndre Daly. In the group's other game, former champion and top seed St. Andrew Technical High School beat St. Catherine High 2-0. In Group 2, which had JC, St. George's, Hydel, and Tivoli, former champion St. George's College started the quarterfinal round with a 2-0 win over Tivoli Gardens. And the group's other clash saw defending champions and host Jamaica College losing 1-0 to Hydel High, who scored in the 88th minute. In the Costa Cup round of 16, which had 4 groups of 4 that came to an end on Saturday, first and second place will now move on to the group of 8. Defending champions Clarendon College made their way into the last 8 of the Da Costa Cup as their 100% win record in the competition came to an end on Saturday. The Lenny Hyde coach team had to come from behind to earn a 1-all draw with former champions Cornwall College, who made progress on goals scored over St. Elizabeth Technical High School. Stets meantime missed out on the last 8 following a goalless draw with Mile Gully High. And over in Group 2, Manchester High joined BB Coke as the qualifiers following their comfortable 2-0 win over Happy Grove at home. BB Coke consolidate their position at the top of the group by crushing Tacky 4-0 to make it 3 wins from 3. And in Group 3, Dintil Tech and Christiana waltzed into the quarterfinals. Dintil came from behind to edge William Nib 2-1, while Christiana blank Magrat High 2-0. In Group 4, the Clarendon duo of Glenmore and Garvey Massio made their passage into the next round with victories. Garvey Massio dubbed Port Antonio 4-1, while Glenmore clipped Frome Technical 2-1. And for the quarterfinal round holders, Clarendon College, Glenmore High, Manchester High, and Christiana are now in Group 1, while the other group has BB Coke, Dintil Technical, Cornwall College, and Garvey Massio. And don't forget that the Best Manning Cup and the Costa Cup reports takes place on this here radio station. If you ever missed the news on this station, please go to YouTube, type in Jamaican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. That's going to be news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.